Hey everybody, Andy here, aka Montolio, and here we are for another Vintage League. This is round 5. We're currently sitting 4-0 if you're cheating and jumping ahead to the last match, and we're playing against Blue Dragon. This should be a pretty tough match. This particular person likes to play like a lot of artifacts into like color bleachers and the draw sevens, and I don't think they're on PO, but you know the Tinker plan, and that could be a tough one for us. But we won the die roll, which is where we want to be. So um, yeah, this is a pretty strong. I don't know that we can pass up the Mystic Forge plan, so I'm going to keep this. It's obviously not amazing against if it doesn't resolve or if we don't hit. But we're gonna have 2 floating mana. They're down to 5. Um, and all that said, we really don't know what they're playing, and I think this is just generalized like a very strong hand. We could play Crucible into Revoker, but that is not the highest yield play. I'm probably going to play the Revoker unless I hit something better off the top. Ooh, we missed. I think 3 ball's really good. Um, I'm going to put this on Black Lotus and pass turn. I think I'm going to just keep the Trinisphere there because the combination of Trinisphere and Crucible of Worlds is very powerful. Now, they could just spill out their entire hand and go off right now, but I think that said, um, you got to play what you got, and the highest yield play for us is definitely getting a 3 ball. So hopefully there's not a Dak Faden. Dak Faden would be pretty upsetting here. And it is. Well, okay. Yeah, not much I can do. Golos is not helping me a lot in this particular situation. I feel like we just got to see what we can find on top. Snake is, however, quite strong, and it's not something that they can deal with easily. Lightning Bolt could do it. Nice. Screwed that up, didn't I? I actually strongly considered making this a 2-2 because Lightning Bolt doesn't matter. But this will trample over the 2-1 with a 3. So I'm going to keep this. I don't have a choice. I still think, despite everything here, our position is not that bad. Like, obviously, we need to answer Dak, and that is our number 1 plan is to be able to get ahead of Dak Faden here and kill him. And if we can kill Dak, I feel like we're in a solid position. Get rid of Force of Will and Pedal. Okay, this is definitely nice. So this looks like they're on a hard cast Force of Will to me. Null Rod is actually fairly awkward. Um, okay, first things first. Let's attack in. Let's kill Dak Faden. Or attempt to kill Dak Faden. Could be a hull breacher. No, they're just going to throw that in front. Now they do not have a hard cast Force of Will up. Null Rod is pretty good. Actually, why don't we do it like this? The problem is I can't do that. That's the problem. I really am wanting to wasteland them here. So I think... Look. I feel like Crucible of Worlds is just fairly good here. Getting rid of that Academy is huge. This is a hull breacher. Yeah, I mean, okay, that's decent for me, right? Next turn I play the Null Rod. Yeah, okay. Now if they draw a 7 here, that's a bit of a bummer for me. I'm gonna lose, but top, okay. I feel like if I untap here with Null Rod, they're likely to be dead. I'm so super surprised my opponent did not. Maybe they were trying to set up a draw 7, but I feel like they should have flashed in the Hull Breacher and stopped my Stone Coil from killing their Dak, because Dak Faden is a problem for this deck. Like, if they had a Dak Faden going right now, like, what am I going to do? Cast a Crucible of Worlds into it? Like, I don't know. I also felt like yeah, I don't know. I feel like they probably mismanaged that somewhat. Okay. Okay, so they're hellbent. And so what's going to happen is I am going to play a Null Rod off my Soul Ring, and then I am going to slam a 3-ball and waste them. Right? Like, does that not seem pretty good? Um, yeah. I don't mind the Golos. I'm not going to cycle with my Mystic Forge here. We're going to play a 3-ball. And this should ice it. I mean, I didn't even need to wasteland them there, but who's winning the race here? We can attack in because we're going to cast a Golos next turn. I'm just really not worried about going down on life. They'll win for a turn or two. Yeah, okay. They're just going to block. Sure. I'm surprised they did that because they were ahead by a point. I mean, they can't know that I have a Golos coming, and I have probably far less creatures than they do in their deck. But yeah, okay, good. A good solid win there. So the good news for us is we actually have 4 Null Rods, and in this particular league, this is the first time that we've used them. I could see a world where we could fit in some Stone Coils. I think a lot of opponents will side out things like Lightning Bolts because they know we don't have any creatures, and if we do, they are typically have big butts on them, like a Golos. So my opponent is in on the Shattering Spree plan. I don't really feel like Sorcerer's Spyglass is what I want to be doing on the draw. I mean, it does shut down a Dak Faden, and maybe that's worth it. I don't know. Oops. Excuse me. feel like Tabernacle's likely not very strong in this particular matchup. Chalice I still like. Maybe I don't need that many stone coils. Let's try this and see how it goes. I mean, 4 null rods might be an overkill, but as you see, they are quite focused on executing their their artifacts. They've got obviously full set of mocks and things like Sensei's Divining Top. Yeah, I'll keep it. There's a world where we draw a Sol land off the top, another mocks. Hopefully they're just playing fair here. Time walk. They're doing a great job on the basics here for sure. So this is threatening a Hull Breacher. So not looking super nifty here. Like, I mean, I could slam a null rod. I don't think null rod's really that good, but in this particular situation. The problem is if I don't slam the null rod, there's a world where they can just wheel me here. Like they flash in a Hull Breacher right now and then they wheel me. And turning off their tokens that they get, their treasure tokens, to turn into land is reasonably important. So I think I'm going to do this. And the reason I'm exposing the null rod here, or the academy, is I would like to have the option to wasteland next turn if I need to. You know, they just let it resolve, so they don't have the Hull Breacher here. I mean, they could get me with a Shattering Spree on both my artifacts, which is fairly reasonable. Oh wow, they're just tinkering. Okay, that makes sense. Playing it out if they have the academy. Okay, spree. So they're going to do both here. They're going to wheel and they're going to cast Hull Breacher. I find it a little suspect that if they had Hull Breacher that they didn't do it in response to what I was doing. Like, why wouldn't they? I don't know. Maybe this is just a tinker. Twister. Okay, I like that. Sadly, I didn't find another Mox in there somewhere. It's an awful lot of mana. So it looks like we're losing this one here. Once again, the same line. They could wheel and Hull Breach and wheel. I mean, the fact they're looking here is probably good for me that they don't have it in hand. Okay, well, they found something they were looking for. And that could be very much that exact scenario. Oh, Citadel. Okay. Hardcast Citadel. Oh. Tinker then. Going for a Tinker. Into a Citadel. All right. Yeah, it must be a Tinker, right? Yeah. Hopefully it's not a Blightsteel Colossus. If it's a Citadel, that we have a small chance. Hull Breacher, yeah. Back Faden. Okay, so this is obviously out of control here. I got my Mox. All right, we'll scoop them up. We're not getting through that. Well played. Well played. Okay, well, this is where I feel like Golos Shops struggles the most is against these fast combo decks. I mean, there's a world where I could bring in Grafdigger's Cage. I don't feel like it's that good. Let's try this. Our deck is much stronger on the play than the draw, obviously. Yeah, I think this is reasonable. Once again, we have a good opportunity, more so than our opponent, to be able to draw into Sol lands. We have a Crucible lock here um, with Ghost Quarter and Wasteland. If we can get to cast our Crucible, obviously we're on a Sphere plan, so we are going to need some help. But let's see how it goes. We'll lead with a Thorn resolve, so this could indicate that they've got several Moxen in hand. Hope if they do, hopefully they just have a Mox. No Lotus. Lotus kills us because of Shattering Spree's presence. Pedal. Okay, that's not too bad for us. The sad news for us here is that we are really struggling on mana, and underneath our own spheres here, we are going to need some help sooner than later. Golos was an unfortunate draw getting the second one there, but that's the world we live in with redundancy. One workshop. Mox, okay. I'll take a Mox. Puts us a land away. Like if we draw Soul Land, we can cast Crucible and strip mine them. Yeah, our opponent unfortunately is very solid on land here. So they could flash in Hull Breacher here. Okay, Wasteland. So they could Dak Faden next turn. That is the problem if I play the Crucible. I don't think I have the luxury, though, of playing scared from Dak Faden right now. Like, if they get a Crucible, we're probably just going to lose. Okay, so they're just going to force a will here, or they're flashing in Hull Breacher. It's one or the other. Like, I'm not as sad as if they force a will this. Like, just Hull Breacher? Brainstorm. Wow, so we're going to resolve our Crucible. So, I actually would have almost hoped that they did force a will there because we were going to get their lands, but now they're setting up for a Dak Faden if this resolves, if they found one. So I think they have like two Dak Fadens in their deck, and it's also possible Shattering Spree, right? Because they've got Lotus Petal and Volcanic here. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but like they could hit both our Moxes here as well. So they have three things that they can kill here. So and that's what they're doing is their Shattering Spree. Okay, maybe not. Dak Faden. I mean, I would have much rather been Shattering Spree than Dak Faden, but that's the risk that we took. Oh, Spree. Okay, wow. Let's see what they choose. I guess they're probably just going to take all my spheres and my Crucible. Yep, that's what they're doing. Sensei's top? No. Well, this is pretty good, I guess. At least it lets me Get a Golos out into play potentially, and be able to wasteland as well. So the question is, what do we want to go and get with our Golos here? Is there anything that even impacts the board? I've got another Golos. They do have Breach combo. I guess I'm just going to Bajuka Bog. They also could be building up for... actually, I did this wrong. Shit. I should have wastelanded first and didn't. Actually, I probably should have took a red source there. Now that I think about this, because of Shattering Spree, I'm not thinking my lines through here well enough. Hopefully that doesn't. I don't get punished for that. Yeah, they've just got so many lands here. Let's see if we could draw 7 here. They could draw 7 and Hull Breach me, but not much I can do about that. Demonic Tutor. Okay. What does that mean? I mean, probably just Tinker, right? Yeah, Tinker is what they're going to get here, of course. And nice that they found the black mana there off the top. Okay, so hopefully they find a land on top when we get a chance here. Anger the Gods. Okay, that seems really bad against me. Hit a land, please give me a chance. Spree. Okay, so they got a couple of my things. That sucks. Yeah, I mean, all right. I mean, we got a chance, but pretty awkward. I mean, could revoke Dak Faden. Not ideal. This time I will not make that mistake. I will go after their red source. And yeah, I mean, hopefully they brick, man. It's possible. I would not say it's often that I could beat an active Citadel, but it does happen. Okay. Another spree. No, okay. Oh, you know what it is? It's a Hull Breacher. Coercive Portal. Yeah, Coercive Portal. I mean, I could cast it, but it's very likely Dak bait. I mean, I gotta attack. I do not have a choice. Yeah, so Hull Breacher, exactly. Which is indicative that they've likely got a Dak. I'm going to cast the portal. I have to play to my outs here. I just have no choice. And it's very possible that they have the Dak Faden here. But I'm dead on multiple different fronts here if I don't attempt to progress my board game out of fear of what they could have or are going to get off the top. Like, you know, these decks are not unlimited in what they can do off the top of a Citadel. Like, my opponent is fetching here. They're not liking what they're seeing. They're probably getting the controlling aspects of their deck or lands, and I mean, my opponent's got one card in hand. They did not shuffle their ponder, unfortunately. Ancestral, okay. And this is one of the downfalls of playing the Golos deck is that the deck is not capable of pressuring your opponent in any capacity, right? Like, sure, I may be able to cast a Golos next turn. I might be able to. Time walk, okay. This actually does not even advance my game plan because of Hull Breacher now. Yeah, so I got to vote for Carnage. And the problem with Carnage is it kills all my Moxen. Okay, I'm not going to get the option anyways. Okay. I hope they kill the portal. Yeah, like that's just gravy for me that they did that. Okay, time walk. So we're not winning this game here, to be clear. I'm not sure why I'm even hanging around, but I guess you feel bad when you're playing for the 5-0 and you know, you concede early and you draw an answer you're not thinking of, right? Breach. Okay. That seems pretty good. So that's one of the reasons that I got a Bajuka Bog earlier in the game was to prevent that. I will say a little bit disheartening for me because I think like the last 3 or 4 leagues that I've played, I've gone 4-0 and I've lost every single one of my 5-0 matches. Um, you know, a little bit disheartening. You know, obviously, I mean, who really cares about leagues? But you know, it always feels good when you do win a trophy, right? Um, but you know, to go 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 or whatever it is now for me in my trophy matches is not good statistically for closing out to numbers, but it is what it is. So it looks like we've lost here. I guess my opponent needs to find a Mox, and they did. So they're going to be able to kill me here. And there's the Lotus. All right. I was going to say, because had they untapped with Mana Crypt in play, there's a possibility that they die to their Mana Crypt flip, but my opponent is not going to let me do that. So once again, guys, thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the league. Golos Shops is a good deck. I wouldn't say it's really my style. I do like to be able to pressure my opponent in some capacity, and this deck is just nothing but a pure constrictor. It doesn't do anything else, and quite often, as you can see, that is enough. But in this particular instance, we're fairly cold to combo. Um, my opponent had all the answers that they needed, and yeah. Once again, I hope you enjoyed things, and if you're enjoying these videos, please remember to hit the like button. And yeah, we'll see you again next time, guys. Thanks.